What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah!
What the f*** are you talking about?
Yeah, we won't even do that. What's going on, folks? Happy Thursday to you. Good evening, good evening, good evening. My name is Markus Thomas. Welcome to the Pro Fan Talk. We are here, folks. We are on the precipice of NFL season 2003. It's about to get on and popping. We've been waiting long enough. Tired of waiting, tired of talking about it, tired of seeing mini camp and joint practices and preseason games and all of this stuff that at the end of the day really doesn't matter. You're ready to see your boys go up against somebody with a different color jersey on and find out what's what. That's what we are ready to see. So it is been a crazy week again because we got other things going on, but the focus tonight is going to be just on the birds. But let me get this out of the way right now. Props to our Philadelphia Phillies. They are on fire right now. They let one get away the other night, but I mean, we hit 51 home runs in August. We broke a franchise record, I believe. But Schwarber is on a tear. Bryce Harper is on a tear. Trey Turner, since the ovation, has just been ridiculous. You can say what you want about Philly fans, but they showed up and showed out. And guess what? We got results from it. So you take that how you want it. All them people that look from the outside looking in and talk all of that smack on Philadelphia fans, when it came time to give the emotion and give the heart, we were first up in there. So very happy, very happy. I see you, Dave Roska. You ready for some college football? I am as well. Ready to see my alma mater, Eastern Kentucky. Ready to see the University of Kentucky. I got a young kid that I used to coach who's quarterbacking at UK, Devin Leary, waiting to see him. So we in football season, man. It is exciting. A lot of stuff going on. 53-man rosters, putting punters on practice squad, all kind of just stuff that makes you shake your head and say, what the hell are you thinking? You know what I mean? But it's crazy. Yeah, 59 home runs in August, man. We kid what I say, 51? Yeah, Sean. It's Phillies have been killing it, bro. Phillies have been must-see TV the last probably 2 weeks. Must-see TV. The Twitter feed goes nuts. MV3, Trey Turner again, Schwarber again, Schwarbombs and Alex, what's his last? I want to say Alex Baum, but you know what I'm talking about. It's crazy. It is crazy. Everybody's hitting home runs, but for some reason we just can't get that picture right. We just can't. I hate losing the game like 11-8. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But in any case, it's all about the football, man. Ready for another Super Bowl countdown, Sean. I'm right there with you, bro. We are in the blocks. They got the gun up in the air, and we are waiting for that gun to go off so we can take off down that straight, man. It's ready to rock and roll. First order of business, right off the bat, we had practice squad. The 53-man roster was the subject of the week this week. And then, boom, we got our practice squad. We got Devin Allen coming back, Britton Covey coming back, Mekhi Garner. I think that's a good return. That's going to pay dividends for us, I believe. Julian Good-Jones, Teron Jackson, Kyron Johnson, Tristan McCullum, Joseph Nagata. Joseph Nagata was one of my favorites on the practice squad. Like last year's Deion Kane. Deion Kane was brought back, but he didn't have the greatest camp. Nagata had a pretty decent camp, and Nagata is a big body. That is a big boy. And we got to find a place to use him, but we'll see where the numbers fall. We got tight end Brady Russell, Aaron Sipos. The Sipos thing is just weird. I was talking to my guy Ralphie before we got on air. That one is just weird to me. Why would you bring back a punter on the practice squad? That, and knowing that the roster, in my opinion, is probably still going to be very fluid all the way up until, a couple days before week 1, whenever that deadline is, where you got to have your roster set and you can't make any more changes before the game. I think it's going to be fluid. Some things can still happen. But that one's a weird one, man. That one's a weird one because you can get a punter off the street and get better performance than what we've had in the past. So we'll see. But you got Brett Toth, another offensive line. Anybody on the offensive line, you already know that it's all good. I wish they could have kept Josh Seals just because he's already been through Camp Stoutland or Stoutland University, like they like to call it. But I wish they would have kept him. But, of course, who grabs him but Indianapolis? He's going right back with Shane Steichen, so he's going under the same verbiage, pretty much under the same language, and he'll be good to go. So that was a good pickup by Indianapolis. He's ready to plug and play. We got Ben Van Sumeren and Greg Ward. Greg Ward, I was hoping he would make the team, but you knew what the situation was with Quez. Quez didn't even play in the preseason, so you knew his situation was locked. He wasn't going anywhere. Zacchaeus is the same way. They brought him up here. Both of them had decent camps, at least from all of the reports that we heard from people that covered practices every day. So Greg Ward, Zacchaeus, they're in good shape. Van Sumeren, I'm wondering if they're going to use him on special teams. That's why I keep saying that the roster is still fluid because we need a lot of special team players. After we lost everybody, they got hurt that one game, Zach McPherson, because I think Zach McPherson may have been our kick returner. That he tells his Achilles, and then Sean Bradley? He tore his Achilles, and then we had another guy get a concussion. So we didn't really escape the injury bug. So we've got, luckily, none of our starters got dinged up. Well, maybe if you count Hassan Reddick, but he's going to play week 1. But even that's something, when you got a thumb like that, all it takes is one play. And then the next thing you know, he's coming with a club. And when you're wearing a club, you can't grip. It's weighted, so it's just a different feel. And it does make a difference when guys like that need to make tackles. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's hope he's healed up. He'll probably have it wrapped or probably wearing something. It would be silly for him not to. But let's just hope that Hassan Reddick is just ready to go. Just saying what's up, David. Sean and David were first out the limo. And I see Jake Friel. What's going on? Agree with the poll. I appreciate that. Robert Gilchrist. I appreciate you, bro. D. Allen is a good gunner, throwing the kick returner. Here's the thing about Devin Allen, right? Because Devin Allen did kick return at Oregon, but you got to go way back, right? Everybody looks at that good return. It was great. He made a 60-yard return or something like that. However, he dropped the ball. And if anybody's ever done that, you drop the ball, everybody converges on the ball, and then they lose sight of you as the returner. So he gathered it up and just went the opposite way. He broke the one tackle, which was good, but you never want to see anybody putting the ball on the ground. Big ups to my boy Tom Arnone. He is the captain of the A2D mothership. What's going on, Big Tom? Money Pot Moss. What's going on, bro? Hey, yo. Greg Malakovich, I see you. Iman, I see you. Everybody's in the house, man, and I appreciate that. Philly Sports Hustle, what up? Pete, what's good with you, fam? But I appreciate everybody coming in. But we ready to rock and roll, man. We are ready to rock and roll. But yeah, raised a couple eyebrows with this practice squad, but it is what it is. And Howie we trust. So, if you're going to be mad, you be mad by yourself. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I trust them at this point. The only thing that I've got reservations for, the only thing I have concerns about is our special teams. We better have that mess together, because I don't want to repeat of last year. I don't want to lose any games because of special teams or put ourselves in bad positions. I don't want to do that. Yeah, Sippos concerns me too, bro. Why they put him back on practice squad? I would think from Michael Clay, Coach Michael Clay, and anybody on special teams, especially when you're talking about punters and all of that kind of stuff, everybody's on notice. Everybody's on notice, especially after the performance they had last year. And I'm not just talking in the Super Bowl. That was bad enough. But during the year, we had issues with our special teams during the year. You guys have heard me say this before. There's a good chance we should have lost both times to Dallas, but because of special teams. So we got to get that buttoned up. But last year's last year. Can't do nothing about it now. And this is fresh start, even for Coach Michael Clay. So he's got a chance to get it right, just like anybody else does. Or is his job on the line? But let's hope it doesn't get to that point where in the middle of the season, we're even asking that question. You know what I'm saying? If we're still asking that question in the middle of the season, that means we got problems. And that means we have problems that weren't dealt with earlier on in the year. Everybody knows what's going on. It's no secret. If our special teams are bad at week 4 or 5, everybody's going to know. And don't get it twisted. You can game plan special teams. You can game plan special teams. We used to watch special team just like everybody else. And if you see somebody on a kick unit or a return unit that's not doing what they're supposed to do, you can find ways to exploit that easily. So let's figure out the right way to do this. Michael Clay, it's on you, bro. We got faith in you. But rest assured, if it goes sideways, it's going to come at you sideways. And the wrath of the Philadelphia faithful shall be intense. Let me just say that. So hopefully we won't have that issue, but we shall see. You know what I mean? We shall see. Let me fix this. So we all know the one guy, I got my second screen over here. I've been pronouncing this guy's name all day, right? We got Albert Okwuegbunam. Okwuegbunam. Albert O. Okwuegbunam. We got him from the Broncos. This boy is a handful. If we use him, we cannot keep this kid on the bench. We can't do it. We cannot keep this man on the bench. He has got Antonio Gates type skills. He can catch the ball. He's got good hands, big hands, known for snagging a one-hander every now and then. He can run after the catch. This boy is good. 4.4 speed at 260. Let me say that one more again. Sub 4.5 speed at 260. We have got to find a way to use him. We must. I don't want to see somebody like that. Brian Daly, what's good, my brother? I don't want to see somebody like that sitting on the bench, man. Sitting on the bench. And this is where all of the sugar rush of Nick Sirianni is gone now. That makes sense? All of the sugar rush is gone. We've had our high with him. Now we need to level off and see what he's about. Because just like Jalen Hurts, nobody expected the Eagles to do what they did last year. Even the staunchest of Eagles fans, anybody that really watches football, I'm not talking about the Eagles fan that every year we're supposed to go to the Super Bowl. I'm talking about we who watch football and understand what we're looking at. We know nobody expected what Jalen Hurts gave us last year. Nobody did. And that, in turn, carries Nick Sirianni to another level. I always thought it was interesting how Nick Sirianni did he even get mentioned for Coach of the Year last year? How did that get missed? I didn't understand that. That's a possibility. I like Calcaterra better than Stoll, but I can go back and forth. But I think this guy is better than either one of them because he's big enough where he can really block, and he's fast. He's the fastest tight end we got. I believe he's faster than Dallas Goedert now, and Dallas Goedert is what, 6'3"? This joker's 6'4". When I say he's Antonio Gates size, he's up there. Derry, what's going on, fam? It's good to see you, man. Yeah, we're not going to surprise anybody this year, but that's a good problem to have. That's a good problem to have. But when we keep getting guys like this, it's the national narrative has been the Eagles won't be as good as last year for two reasons. Number one is because we just made it to the Super Bowl. And then they go into the odds and analytics of what happens to teams after they made it to the Super Bowl. So that's one strike against us. The second strike is the strength of schedule is different. It's a little bit rougher for us this year. And understandably so. Thanks, Andy. I appreciate that, bro. But here's the thing, though. And this is what I think everybody forgets, Derry. We got better. We had arguably the best draft last year. It looks like 2, maybe 3 of those draft picks are going to be borderline elite level players. And 2 of those draft picks are going to play significant minutes, snaps. Jalen Carter's going to play. 3 of those players, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Sidney Brown. Those 3 guys are going to play a lot. So we're in a very unique situation where most of our draft picks are probably going to play and contribute and get meaningful snaps. The tougher schedule doesn't bother me so much because of what I just said about us getting better. And also, schedules get tougher for the other teams too. San Francisco's got a tougher schedule. Kansas City's got a tougher schedule. Dallas is about the same, but everybody around Dallas is pretty much in the same boat. But you know what? Quiet as kept. Washington's gotten better. The Giants are going to be better. You look at switching over to the AFC. Don't sleep on the Jets, man. We talk all of that smack about Aaron Rodgers, and we laugh at him because he's become a meme and a caricature of himself with the psychedelics and the isolation chambers and smoking the weed and all of that kind of stuff that he was doing. But don't get it twisted. When Rodgers steps on the field, he's still Aaron Rodgers. And you know what? Robert Saleh's a good coach. And they got a good defense. And they just picked up a couple more pieces on offense. So the Jets could be for real. So, and I'm saying all that to say everybody's got a tougher schedule. There's a lot of teams that got better. I just think we happen to be at the top of that list, and everybody wants to throw that out with the bathwater like it didn't happen. Like, I'm tired of listening to oh my God, Philly, you Sports Hustle, we on the same wavelength. Purdy, I've been listening to a lot of news about San Francisco, and everybody's got so many opinions on Brock Purdy, and it's like the same way. This is why people from Philadelphia and Eagles fans are qualified to talk about San Francisco, because the same way the scope is going to be on Purdy this year is the same way the focus was on Jalen Hurts last year. Because, and granted, Purdy had a much better first year than Jalen Hurts did, because at the end of 21, most of Philadelphia didn't want Jalen Hurts to be the starter. Or even if they did, they were honest in the fact that, yeah, we might need to draft his replacement, because I don't know how far he's going to take us. And that was a valid opinion. All of his not throwing the ball on time, and he wasn't a very good throwing quarterback. Everybody knew that. That was not a slight. That was not disrespectful. That was watching tape. Jalen Hurts was late. He didn't see the field well. He didn't throw the ball on time. All the things you need to be a good quarterback in the pocket. Right or wrong, that's how the NFL is going to measure the success or failure of a quarterback. When you're standing back in the pocket, can you get the ball to your receiver on time and in the zone? And it took about 4 or 5 games before people realized, Jalen put in work. Jalen put in work in the offseason. I said this before, and I always say it. Jalen Hurts, or not Jalen Hurts, but Trey Lance needs to call Jalen Hurts and find out who Jalen Hurts worked out with from 21 to 22. Jalen Hurts needs to write a book. That would be a bestseller. What I did in the offseason before I went to the Super Bowl. And that should be required reading for every young quarterback coming in the NFL, because it was amazing. It was amazing. And at the end of the year, couldn't nobody say anything. The people that still had stuff to say about Jalen Hurts, it didn't make sense. The only reason he's good is because he's got things around us, because he ran too much. He wasn't a true. People talk all of that smack when they ain't got nothing good to say. Meanwhile, they still watching us. I got the one person from San Francisco that I got all the respect for was Brandon Ayuk. I heard Brandon Ayuk talking, and he was bitching and moaning like everybody else was after that game. We would have beat him if Purdy was healthy and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? At least Brandon Ayuk had the honesty to say, well, can't really talk because I'm at home on the couch watching them. At least he had the honesty to say that. You know what I mean? So everybody else, bitch, moan, and complain. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, don't do nothing but rhyme. And you know what? You should have put a real blocker on Hassan Reddick, but you didn't. You could have protected your quarterback better, but you didn't. You would have won if he'd have stayed in the game. Maybe. You had your shot, you whiffed, and we snuck in there. Put them beads on you, and we was playing in the Super Bowl where our quarterback outplayed the best quarterback in football. And you know what? I should take a little sauce off that outplayed, because he did outplay minus the fumble. That fumble hurt. And I know Jalen Hurts feels that because it wasn't nobody on him. Because I remember after the game, you had a lot of Philadelphia people talking about it was a face mask and this. I made a video about it. Go to my YouTube channel, Pro Fan Talking. Look at that video. It wasn't a face mask. Nobody touched him. It was an angle. It was a shot from a specific angle, and it looked like a face mask, but it wasn't. Dude's hand was like 5 inches away from Jalen. That was all on him. And that was that one mistake. One mistake. you hear people say football is a game of inches. That's exactly what you're talking about. That one mistake, he came back and he played phenomenal in the second half, all of that kind of stuff. But all you got to do is just look at how the game turned out, and you take 7 points away from Kansas City. That fumble and that stupid punt return killed us. Killed us. That's why I'm so hyped on special teams now. Because that's a big factor on why we lost. Well, that Jonathan Gannon, but dead horse doesn't need to be beat. So you understand what I'm saying? So lots of stuff, man. Lots of stuff. Lots of just getting it together and really let me see real quick. Take this over here. I'm switching screens real quick. Hold on. Getting together and taking care of business. Our defense has an opportunity to be better than we were last year. And I say that because our defensive line has a chance to be better than they were last year. Nick Wright from First Take is the biggest Hurts hater. Dude won't say anything good about him. Listen, if they're going to be mad, be bad by themselves. I got a whole nother conversation for all these media heads because at the end of the day, they don't matter. There is and I'll try to make this rant short. There is a shift in the paradigm that is social media and online content and ESPN and FS1 and all of these network shows. The network shows are falling by the wayside because everybody and their mama's got a podcast now. We, A2D radio, we are the norm now because we can get information that is verified and true just as fast as ESPN and FS1 and all them other players. We can get that information just as fast. And we can garner a audience that will listen to us just as much as they'll listen to Skip Bayless or Wright or Stephen A. or anybody like that. Obviously, they're going to have more eyes on them because they've got 10 years being on the worldwide network. That's okay. But us, like the guys here at A2D Radio, cultivating this audience, 8,000, 9,000 subscribers is not a lot of people. Is it? I'm on my ground now with my channel, just reaching that 900 point, trying to get to 1,000 before the season starts. And then you look at A2D, you go to a room and give a speech and 1,000 people show up. It's a lot of people listening to you. So we are the norm now. And what they're doing, Nick Wright, Bayless, and all of them, if you notice, all they're doing is creating clickbait. So people will come up with stuff and say, to your point, Nick Wright is a hater of Jalen Hurts. Now everybody from Philadelphia is going to keep watching Nick Wright. And the first time he says something against Jalen Hurts, everybody's ready to pounce. But the thing is, he's getting credit for all of that noise. That's why they do it. That's why they do it. They want to say something that's so out in left field that you're going to get the masses coming to tell you you're wrong or I told you so, because everybody wants to tell you I told you so. But he's still getting the clicks. That's the way it's going. So it ain't about really being good reporting. The information is out there. We can get it just like they can. Now they got to figure out a way to do something different. And that's what they do. There was somebody on, I saw it on Twitter, and it was on purpose. They had they took a video of, I believe it was Mariota, throwing an interception, and the caption was that it was Jalen Hurts. And of course, they had like 5,000 responses like, that's not even Jalen Hurts. You don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. Told him he was stupid, trolls, and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, all of that traffic, his analytics must have been through the roof for that. That's what it comes down to. John, you got anything on trade rumors with Pitt? I heard that. And then I heard it, and then I saw we got Sipos on practice squad. Maybe that's why. Again, in Howie we trust. He's the Wizard of Philadelphia. I trust him completely. Let Howie eat. Let him do what he does. Let him cook. So we ready to go. We ready to go. So I hope that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. Johnny, like, yeah, man, it's all it's all crazy. It's all hype. It's all hype. It's all clickbait. All clickbait. So, but it is what it is. We just stay, consistent. A2D is doing a thing. Right on before me. We got an Eagles lineup on A2D radio. I don't know if people noticed, but an hour before me, you got Urban Fryer and Hollis Thomas. And G Cobb just signed up. So, man, we got a murderer's row of former Eagles players here on A2D. If you don't know, now you know. Better recognize. Stop playing. So, but let's see what else we got. What else did I gotta just throw this up there just because I want to throw this up there. This is that dude. That's right. B. Dawkins is going to be on Vetted in the future. So stay tuned for that. Hall of Famer. That's what I'm talking about. Big tank. Jalen Hurts is ready to go. I've said this before. I want to see the RPOs come down. They're still going to run them because I was watching some film today, broadcast stuff. And just Jalen Hurts is just so nasty running the RPO, and he knows how to run it. But I would love to see the RPOs come down. More passes because we got a murderer's row of receivers. You got AJ, Devontae, Dallas, and now you got Albert O. That is, now you got DeAndre Swift and Kenny Gainwell. And it looks like we're going to run a screen game this year. I am so excited for that because y'all just don't know how much stuff I was throwing in rooms and at the television because we're 3rd and 2 or 2nd and 2 and we're not running screens and we're just opportunities just going by the wayside. And everybody else was killing us with them. So, but I want to see Jalen Hurts hand the ball off to Kenny Gainwell and DeAndre Swift, or just drop back in the 7-step drop and just dump it and let the running backs do what running backs do. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. And that way we can keep him upright, get the ball in the hands of Gainwell and Agent Zero, and see what they can do. I'm very interested because I still think that Gainwell might be running back 1. That can change. But I want to see Swift just get nasty with it. Running the ball. Just get, my thing. It's not about rushes, it's about touches. Hey, Pop. I see you on there, Pop. I appreciate you. Love you. Anybody who plays Madden, that's funny. Anybody who plays Madden with a running quarterback is excited to see some screens. Yes, you are correct. I haven't played Madden in years. I stopped playing Madden when my grandson started beating me regularly. And I was like, yeah, it's time to hang up the controllers, man. Time to hang up the sticks. So, but Dynasty, man, I would love to see a 22 package. I would love. You could do a 21, you can do a 22, you can do a 212. There's different things you can do. Different things you can do. So I would love to see something like that, man. Because we can, with the type of athletes that we have. Now, let me repeat this again. Let me find him. This kid is 6'4", 260, and runs a 4.49. That's running back speed, right? So now just imagine him and Dallas Goedert. And you still got to worry about Devontae and AJ. And then you still got to worry about Swift and Jalen. You pick your poison. You pick your poison. That's why it's so I want to say fundamentally, that's the wrong word. That's why it's so important for Jalen to have had the progression that he had last year. Because that whole year, what that did was that makes defenses honest. Because now they know Jalen Hurts can find the open man and get the ball to him. They know that. Jalen Hurts can pull it and go around the end for 10 to 15 and kill us. They know that. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert are all dangerous in their own right. They know that. DeAndre Swift was a beast in Detroit. Now he's in Philly. They know that. So you got to pick your poison. You can't game plan everybody. Our job on offense, or as an offensive coordinator, your job is when you watch film, you got to find the weak point. I don't know if y'all remember, anybody that's ever seen that movie, the Adam Sandler movie, Waterboy. So halfway through the movie, the team's getting their confidence, and they had that one kicker. And he was lining up for the onside kick, and he was looking to see who was scared. And that's who he kicked the ball to. It's the same way when you watch a film on defense. Not necessarily that somebody's scared, but you look and you say, what is somebody's weak points? The next part of that is when teams, this is why teams start to get into analytics so heavy. Because now they can look at a linebacker and they can say, okay, if this linebacker faced a wide receiver or somebody with wide receiver speed, this is his percentage in pass coverage. This is his percentage in run defense. They get analytics for everything now. I don't know if you guys heard the news. Amazon, when Amazon does their games now, just like you've got what is it? Next Gen Stats, and they got the crazy charts and good information though. But Amazon is putting this package together where you're gonna have, just like you have the third and the fourth down marker and first down markers. Take that to the next level. Now they're gonna have graphic animated overlays on the field while the game is going on, and they're gonna be putting up stats like this team runs this play this percentage of the time, and they're talking about putting drawn up plays while the game is actually going on. That's how far this AI and what they can do in real time with football and all this data they collected. This is how it's come. They're crunching the numbers as you speak and watching the game. So they're going to have a view where the TV is going to say, okay, it's 3rd and 8. And the Cowboys are in this defense 37% of the time. This is what the Cowboys come at you with defense. And the play it looks like the Eagles are going to run has a success percentage of 48.6% or something like that. They're going to have real-time statistical analysis in game. It's going to be nuts. And I'm curious as to how that's going to affect Moss. If you're still looking, how's that going to affect fantasy, placing bets, parlays, all of that kind of stuff? Is it going to be a bet on, now that if they run a particular play 48% of the time, is that now a 50-50 bet? Will the Eagles run this play? It's just another way to put money down. It's going to be nuts, dude. It's going to be nuts. So, a lot of stuff going on, man. It is crazy. It's just a lot of this new technology that they're trying to force it down your throats. And the NFL can talk that smack about gambling all they want. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. They're gonna get that money. They're very hypocritical when it comes down to that. They're gonna get that money. Period. And it's a lot of money to got. What you say? You got to get Prime again? Man, I don't get rid of Prime. I got to get them boxes in, bro. So, it's gonna be crazy though, man. It's gonna be a lot of stuff, man. And I'm ready for the Eagles to get started. Brian Johnson, I'm ready for him to get his offense together. We got too many pieces on the table. Too many pieces. Our chessboard is stacked. We got a lot of queens on the table. So, but I will say this: we got 2 torn Achilles, a concussion, and a retirement. Like, how often does that happen? And I've never seen a situation where a team. I gotta check the final roster. I don't know. Sean, do you know if when the final roster was tallied, when they put it up, the official final roster, did we still only have 3 linebackers? Only 3 linebackers. So that was kind of crazy. We need help. So the fact that we had 3 linebackers, I'm wondering if that's going to go back to what we were hearing earlier on in camp, where they had Nolan Smith dropping back. He can do it because he has the speed to do it. The problem with that is the same one it was when they tried to do that with Hassan Reddick. That's not where he's supposed to be. Gannon admitted as much. And that stuff like that pisses me off because you denied that kid an opportunity to break an all-time record, because he would have been up in the 20s in sacks easily. He'd have beat Bosa. He'd have been up there. If he'd have kept him at his position for those first 4 games. When he finally put him down and let him put his hand in the dirt and go off that edge, he wrecked shop. And everybody knew it because we saw what he did to us last year. He had 2.5 sacks when he was with Carolina, when the Eagles came to town. He got busy. And it's like, why would you want him to do something different? Why? Square peg, round hole, man. Put the pieces where they're supposed to go. Or you're wasting your talent. You're just wasting it. But as you guys notice on the bottom, we got a new sponsor. Gleason's Bar is located on 6700 Mill Creek Avenue in Levittown, PA. Use promo code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, takeout, or online. Gleason's Bar and Steaks.com, man. Get that 10% off, man. You better do that. Get you that sirloin and mashed potatoes. Y'all better stop playing. Let me see where we go. All right, let me take that off. They need to make that a ticker. But I mean, it is. There we go. What in the world? There we go. Special teams. We talked about this. We talked about that. But I'm ready to rock and roll, man. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm very interested to see who they are going to decide to be our returner. Who's going to do that? Are they going to bring up Covey? Are they going to I'm gonna predict that it'll be Zacchaeus. That way he can be involved in the game early. And I'm looking for Quez to just go off this year. This is his year to do it. He caught a lot of heat last year. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Because he didn't come up big in enough big moments. Y'all know my logic. Big time players make big time plays in big time games. Period. And he came up a little short in a couple of big opportunities. But like I said earlier, last year was last year. It don't matter no more. You got a fresh slate. And you got an opportunity to go out there and ball out and quiet everybody. So these players these days, they get so into their feelings when they get bad feedback from fans. And it used to be that players were just made of some sterner stuff back in the day. You didn't give a damn what people said in the media as much because the media wasn't what it is today, obviously. But we didn't care because when you get out on the field, it don't matter. The only thing that matters is the people you playing with and the dude across from you. That's the dude you got to beat. I used to tell my kids this when I was coaching GT football. You're not going to win every battle. But what I need you to do is win this battle right now. I need you to win this beat. I need you to win this play right now. And then after that play, do it again. One play at a time. We got caught with that when Jalen got hurt and everybody thought we were just going to roll over the Saints and just roll through the end of the season, get him some rest. Gardner Minshew was going to step in, and he did all right. But then you start seeing the warts on the pumpkin. Like, if something go down, we might be in a little trouble. Gardner Minshew is not as advertised. He might have a little problem. And we saw that. That's why I'm not so worried about Marcus Mariota. I think he'll settle in and do what he has to do, and he'll be a good backup. And he did play bad, and I'll say this again, you could call it defending him or whatever, but I would guess that he's got a lot of other things on his mind being from Hawaii. But he'll be fine. But if something happens, you don't have to change your offense none. You don't have to change it. You can still run the RPOs. Hopefully we'll run more screens. And this is the thing, we still have the best offensive line in football. Period. You can argue it. You can probably bring up some other offensive lines that are as good. I don't know about better. Our offensive line is top 5 in the league. What up, Chuck? I see you, brother. So as long as we got that offensive line, as long as we got 6 graduates from Stoutland University, we should be able to drop back, hand the ball off to Gainwell, hand the ball off to Sweat, and let them do what they do. There should be no problem with that. And we should be able to be successful doing it. So I am hoping that Brian Johnson is going to just have this gumbo of play calling that we didn't get even out of Steichen. Steichen would sometimes get stumped and you would look like, dude, what the hell are you calling? Why do we have a running back that averages 5 yards a carry and you only give him 2 carries in the first half? What are you doing? Those are the things me as a fan frustrate me. Me as a former player makes me raise my eyebrow like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Why would you do that? Because in this era's NFL, that'll cost you the war. Chicago, the game against the Bears, almost cost us the war. What up, Frank? That Chicago game, and I know, and I will say this all the time, but I don't care. I know I'm beating a dead horse with the Chicago game. But that game almost cost us the war. Now you hear, I don't remember where it was, but Jalen Hurts spoke on that. I can't remember where he was. Where he said when he took that hit in Chicago, he thought he broke his shoulder. Thought he popped his shoulder blade or something like that. And it's like, oh, no, we can't. We can't have that. Protect your franchise player. No more 17 RPOs. And sometimes, because I believe that Jalen Hurts went up, read the offense, and said, okay, this is the best play. Let me pull it and go around the outside. And you can do that. Law of averages says they're going to catch you. In Chicago, they caught him. So here's what they'll do. Defenses can line up and give you the run pass option. Give it to you. But just know that if you keep the ball, I'm putting hands on. We got to keep the franchise player out of harm's way. And I've heard a lot of people talking about, well, you can't take that away from him. He's too effective at it. Like, yeah, I get that part, but you can balance it out. What's the difference between Jalen Hurts running the ball too much and a team, all they do is throw the ball? Dan Marino is considered to be one of the best ever to sling that rock. How many Super Bowls did he win? Miami was notorious for never having running backs. Back in the day, anyways. They were notorious for that. Because you as a running back, you knew Dan Marino didn't want to hand the ball off. You knew he didn't. He was a gunslinger. And what's the difference? If you know you got a good running game and you know you got a productive running game and you got the offensive line to use it, use it. Don't screw around with it. So we can't, and this is the thing, you want Jalen Hurts to stay effective. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. However, you got to tweak it. You got to tweak it because you can't just leave $250 million, for some linebacker to put his head in the dirt. Or somebody wants to be a goon and take a cheap shot. And it's funny, every year, every couple of games, it'll be somebody, some rookie that gets a little bit overzealous and they take the quarterback on out of bounds. Happens every year. It's going to happen probably about every 2-3 weeks again. We saw last year when the Jets hit Jalen out of bounds and Nick Sirianni was almost ready to fight. You remember that? In preseason. When he was hollering for Salah, he was almost ready to fight. So we can't put our franchise quarterback in harm's way. It's nice to even say that. It's nice to acknowledge the fact that we have a franchise quarterback. You go around the teams and you look, which teams have a franchise quarterback and which ones don't. Is Tua a franchise quarterback? They got Kirk Cousins. Is Mac Jones a franchise quarterback? Is Carr? Is Garoppolo? is Purdy, Baker Mayfield down in Tampa. I don't even know who's a starting quarterback in Carolina. But is that somebody you would consider a franchise quarterback? No, when you stop and take a look at it, there's not a lot of teams that have a franchise quarterback. And not for nothing, Jalen Hurts is probably one of the faces of the NFL now. You got Mahomes right there. Brady's gone. So you got Mahomes, you got Jalen Hurts, you got Joe Burrow. They are the face of the league right now. Aaron Rodgers is getting phased out because he's old. But he's still Aaron Rodgers. But he's not the face of the league anymore. We got that. We are not a place that veterans want to come to get a shot at going for a ring. So, Rodgers, listen, and y'all heard me say this earlier. Rodgers he's already done something in New York. If he stays healthy, New York's going to be dangerous because they got a good team and they got a good coach. And the one thing people really aren't looking at is Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, and I'm way ahead of the game here, but Aaron Rodgers just saved the Jets draft pick. Zach Wilson. Just saved him. So now, Zach Wilson is going to do what most quarterbacks should be doing. They should get behind a good vet and learn. So now Zach Wilson's got 2 years to learn. He already took his lumps. So when he does get a chance to play, he's going to be better for it. He's going to be a better quarterback. He's already taken his lumps. Jordan Love is the same way. He sat back and had to watch Rodgers, and he sat back, and he sat back, and he sat back. Now is his time, and I think Jordan Love's going to have a good year this year. You know who else did that back in the day? Hall of Famer, Steve Young. He had to sit back, and he had to wait, and he had to wait, and he had to wait, and he had to wait until Joe Montana left. And then I remember when he won a Super Bowl and they pulled the monkey off his back and did all that kind of stuff. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. And you see it from NFL films, and you see it in that historic, lens, and you think everybody can do it. And that's not the case. You're absolutely right. Aaron Rodgers did it too, because everybody was still Favre crazy. The only person that's more lucky than Eli Manning is Brett Favre. If you go back and look at some of the stuff that Brett Favre used to do, it's like, dude, how the hell did somebody come up with that catch? I mean, he was the gunslinger and all of that kind of stuff, but still, He was what's the character name in Deadpool that had like the uncanny luck? Domino, was that her name? In Deadpool, like somebody got a gun to her face and the gun would jam, and Brett Favre had a lot of luck going on for a long time. But hey, Aaron Rodgers came in and did his thing. I think Jordan Love, I don't know if he'll be that good, but I think Jordan Love is going to be good because Jordan Love he hasn't taken a lot of lumps, but he's taken a couple lumps, and he got a chance to sit back and watch and learn. And everybody wants these quarterbacks to just add water and immediately they're Pro Bowl level, and it don't work that way. That's why Jalen Hurts is going to be so good, because he's had to take his lumps. They had to tell him that he couldn't read defenses. They had to tell him that he couldn't throw. He took his lumps, and he got better. And now he's our quarterback, QB1. So I'm ready to go. Go watch some college football coming up. Can't wait till next week, next Thursday. It sucks that the NFL season is starting on a Thursday. That's weird. But I appreciate you guys for joining me. Yo, this chat was live. I appreciate you guys. Keep it going. Tell your friends to come join the A2D radio ascension. We are getting it done, fellas. We are getting it done. Y'all better stop playing and jump on board. I'm going to see you guys next week, and we will be talking football in earnest. I can't wait. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you, and I will see you when I see you. Peace.